Hello, gentlemen. We are finally live. Had to get the toddler to bed, and it wasn't an easy process tonight. So I know I'm jumping on here kind of late. Well, not too bad actually. I'm not going to give myself too hard a time. So I know we had a lot of people expected to be on this call. I don't see too many logged in. You slackers. They'll join as we get along, as we get going here. So this is the first slide. Obviously, it's the infamous Frank the Tank, Will Ferrell from Old School, classic character. And what we're going to talk about tonight is how you can have the odd weekend like this summer and not end up in September looking in the mirror at a version of your body that looks worse than Will's. We don't want that for you. We want the fun while still avoiding the dad bod, that weird stomach he's got, right? Good old Will. So let's put those phones away. If you're kind of got 30 different browsers open, it's not going to take long. Just focus on this, unless, of course, you're watching this on a phone. Then ignore this slide and continue watching. All right? Give me a like if you can hear this, because sometimes I start these things and then people are like, wait, there's no audio. Not going to name names, but there's been people who have called me out wrongly, and then I've restarted. So if you can hear me, thumbs up. I know there's a bit of delay. So I'll wait. Okay, good. That's it. That's it. We are good to go. So what you're in for tonight, the 2 keys to transformations that stick, right? I've worked with over 300 people in the last 2 years. Majority have had some level of success. Some have had amazing success. And I can usually tell the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. Boils down to these 2 things. And it's not the diet or exercise plan. Even though my plans are awesome, that's not the reason solely, okay? So we're going to get into that tonight. Also going to show you how to enjoy Frank the Tank weekends. Yes, I've got weddings planned on the July long, August long, and how to structure your diet around those weekends so you can pretty much go off the rails and not set yourself so far back that you pretty much fall off. And, you know, on the same token, how beer and wine can fit into a diet plan that actually shreds fat, that has you looking leaner by the end. So obviously stuff you probably want to, if you want to learn about this, if this sounds like something you're interested in, obviously give me a thumbs up or a heart. I like the hearts. That means a little extra. But if not, you can always X out of this, right? There's nothing holding you to it. So who this isn't for, first off, right? If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm pro-meat. I have a carnivore t-shirt on right now. So if you're a raw vegan, it doesn't make sense for you to be on this presentation. Nothing against you. I'm not familiar with your approach. I can't steer your diet the right way because I'm not familiar with it, and I'm not a big fan, personally. So if you're raw vegan, obviously X out of this. If you're a meatitarian like me, then stick around. So further to that, as I stumble over my words, is it's not for professional bodybuilders, right? There's better guys out there that can get you this big and jacked. Well, maybe not as big as Phil Heath here, but nonetheless, if your goal is solely to get as jacked as possible, abandoning your health in the process, shoving a needle somewhere you don't want it to shove, then there's better coaches out there for it. So X out if that's you. Who this is for is primarily the dads that want to look good with their shirt off, but more so be a good role model for their kids, be around long enough to see them, you know, walk down the aisle, you know, be that dad that the other moms kind of turn their heads at. And certainly it goes the other way too for the moms that want to look the part, want to be healthy, want to be a great role model, but also look good too as they get older. Because there's no reason to look horrible just because you've had some kids. So who am I? So this slide I'm going to jump through pretty quickly because I know lots of you that are on. There's lots in this group that don't know my story, but you guys who are on do, and that's why you're getting in shape. You stick around. So this is Laidlaw School, my elementary school. I was always the chubby kid growing up, right? And junior high, I kind of hit rock bottom. Well, in fact, I hit rock bottom in high school, but this is my junior high, and I would get called Mitch Tits by one particular gentleman because I had moobs, man boobs. And it escalated. A few other kids called me, and I never really got physically abused, but the verbal abuse was pretty bad. So that was certainly where I started, right? This stuff, this fitness thing gave you a new life. And that's what I want for all of you. Of course, you're older now. You're probably not getting verbally abused, ideally. But nonetheless, you know how it feels to not be comfortable in your own skin. And that's what we're trying to eliminate. So rock bottom, yes. You see the picture above there. Looks like I have a very large chin. Lower pics, in good lighting, I have some abs. Bad lighting, not so much. But we're going with good lighting tonight. So that was high school gym class, right? And this story, if you've been on my website, you know my gym teacher brought this around, tested all the guys in the class with this device, and I came out with the worst score. And it wasn't 19.5. That's a stock image. I'd be okay with 19.5. It was in the 30%, mid-30s, I believe. And obviously kind of an embarrassing moment for me because he wrote down the scores from top to bottom on the blackboard. And that certainly was my wake-up call, right? My slap in the face to change. So now, fast forward 14, 15 years. Apologies for the bathroom selfie. This is all I could find on short notice. Now I'm a coach, over 300 guys in the last couple years alone. I write for several sites that you may have heard of, Askmen, TOT. A lot of you guys came from that site because I write there regularly, and Muscle and Fitness once a month as well. So how did that all happen? Well, I don't want to belabor my story too much, but what it boils down to is the stronger your why, easier everything will be. By the way, Ryan, hopefully you got audio. I know you just checked in. You're going to call me out and say you don't have audio, so I have to cancel the whole show? Hopefully not. So what do I mean by your why? Well, for me at the time, as a late teenager, I just had to reclaim myself, right? I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, so there was no real other people in the mix, like kids or family, that was driving me. But at that time, that was my why. Now it's shifted to being a good role model for my two daughters, both under 3, being the intimidating dad when their boyfriends come up to the door. So that's my why. Your why could be anything, right? This guy's why, if he's got kids, they come into the room, he's tired on the couch every night, he can't go to the park with them, he's got no energy. Pretty much life is running the show, he's not running it. And that's what a lot of guys that come to me are trying to change. Get out of this vicious cycle of sleeping poorly, snacking at night, being sluggish and tired most of the day, surviving on coffee, and not really living up to their true selves. So that is many people's why. So you need to find out what your why is, because without that, you will relapse. You will quit. So the first key, remember I said 2 keys to transformations that aren't diet or exercise. And no, it's not every wing night, every Thursday wing night. But this is some context to what I'm going to talk about. So keep that in mind. Wing night and beers in mind as we go through this. So first up is clear goals. I'm not going to get too into this, but you kind of have to have a target in mind. A clear guidepost, right? This works for business. This works for all sorts of things. But when it comes to fitness, what is your target? It doesn't have to be a weight on the scale. There's something that has to kind of drive you forward. You need to track your progress. You need to know what you're doing is working. Because there's too many people that go to the gym, look the same year in, year out, despite a lot of effort, right? They're working hard in the gym on an elliptical, running on a treadmill, but there's some component that's missing, and it's typically what they're doing outside the gym. And I'll get into that shortly. So align your chakras here. Sorry, I'm getting a little woo-woo here, a little woo-woo, but there is some importance to this. And it's about your thoughts becoming things. You have to be, I'm trying to word this rightly because I will get more into this to make it more sense. But Bob Proctor, the man that, well, he's the personal development guy. So his thing is thoughts become things. One thing with trying to wish this stuff to happen is it doesn't work without significant action. Right? So you have to have a clear picture of who you want to be in your mind, but then follow it up with the action that person would take. Hopefully that makes sense. Because if you're not growing, you're dying, and how to grow is through change. if you look back 3 months from now, you're doing the exact same things, right? Skipping the gym, intermittently eating healthy, and then you're not growing, right? You have to change permanently. So what does that mean? Well, you can't do the same things and expect different results. So where it kind of starts is adopting the habits of the person you want to be, right? That in shape guy that you idolize is not going for wing nights every Thursday, getting drunk, waking up hungover, right? He's working out. He's having smoothies in the morning instead of nursing a hangover with 2 Advils and water or Gatorade. And you have to do these same things pretty consistently. Obviously, there's room for error, but pretty consistently making those shifts in your head that you're the fitness guy before you're actually the fitness guy. It's the mindset, right? So habits and repetition. Yes, this is crazy. So give me a like if you're still there. If you haven't tuned me out, haven't zoned out, good. Likes are good. I appreciate that. It strokes my ego a little bit. So when I talk about repetition, that goes back to habits, right? Having a time when you work out at the same time each day, that sort of thing. So the second key, not CrossFit. It looks like a CrossFit picture, but it's your environment, who you spend time around. Are they healthy, supportive, or are they sabotaging you, right? This can be friends, spouse, whoever you hang around with the most. If they're throwing cake and cookies in your face, trying to bring you down with them, kind of need to distance yourself a bit. That's largely what my coaching program is built around, is having that community all in a group with others on the same path that builds you up, that competitive flavor that you're looking for, right? Kind of like a hockey locker room, a sports locker room where you have teammates pulling you along and you know you'd probably quit on your own. So that was the first 2 elements, right? The habits, changing your mindset, becoming the person you want to become before you actually become them, and then surrounding yourself with supportive pieces, whether it's a coach, a spouse, a training partner, someone that's going to help you through the tough times. So number 2, how to enjoy Frank the Tank weekends. I should have used another picture of him, but this is from Wolf on Wall Street. So similar premise, having fun. Whoa. Kind of got X'd out here, just one sec. Okay, I'm back in. We're all good. So how to enjoy Frank the Tank weekend. So you may have heard this story. It's in my book, Transformation Diet on Amazon. The time I went to a sports bar to watch a UFC event, 2009, I think it was. This is about the time I was on a fad diet, eating nothing but protein and fat, keto, before it was cool and keto. And I had a chicken breast in my pocket with a little peanut butter on it. And sure enough, the bouncer frisked me, found the chicken breast, and said, "What the fuck is that?" Apologies for the swear word. And I had to tell them that I was, at risk of losing muscle, and clearly I wasn't. It's just a stupid thought I had. Yeah, thanks. I know. I'm good with my book plugs, Ryan. I'm not afraid of selling out. So, where was I? Okay, so yeah, I had to eat this chicken in front of a line of hardcore UFC fans because I didn't want to, waste it. But nonetheless, I probably could have got salmonella from it. What I'm trying to say is I know better now, and I'm trying to parlay that to you that fad diets are not typically the way to go. And here's the science as to why. So Mark Hobb, professor, Kansas State, lived on Twinkies and other related junk foods for 8 weeks, didn't die, lost weight, body fat dropped by 10%, and really what it boiled down to was a calorie deficit over time is what matters most. I'm not advocating you to eat pure junk food, especially if you want to maintain or gain muscle while you do this. You want to have protein pretty high. You want to eat nice, varied vegetables and so forth. Common sense stuff. But nonetheless, the point is calorie deficit over time matters most. So why do fad diets fail? They put you in a calorie deficit. They should work in theory. But the problem with any fad diet that eliminates a food group talking about keto or low carb or whatever the flavor of the month is they're too restrictive. They're built on a foundation of sand, and as soon as your willpower starts to fade, the whole thing crumbles. Fad diets are not where you need to go. You can have a balanced approach based on portions, have some fun on weekends, and get the same or better results than a fad diet, particularly in the long term. So the first thing is to look at changing your metabolism. The woman on the left here religiously goes to yoga and Zumba, and her metabolism is in the shits, right? Majority of the food she eats goes to storage, a little bit to repair from the modest amount of exercise she does, but not enough to make a significant difference to her body composition over time. Whereas the guy on the right, fairly lean, trains a lot, right? There's a lot of heat that's built up because of the muscles he has. There's a simple fact that takes more calories to maintain. He's also pushing his body pretty hard, requiring a lot of repair. So these charts aren't perfect, but it gives you an example of where you want to be. Regardless of gender, you want to be the guy on the right, because dieting is so much simpler. So here's one study that actually kind of proves my point on this, is we're not all created equal, but regardless of genetics, there's some factors that play into whether or not you're going to gain or lose weight. So they put a bunch of people on a diet of 1,000 calories more than they needed per day. 8 weeks. Some lucky gentlemen gained barely a pound. Actually, some were less than a pound, while others on the other end of the scale gained as much as 9.3 pounds. How is that possible? Science should say they all gain the same amount of weight. Well, in fact, it boiled down to muscle mass for one, but NEAT as well, their activity levels. Whether they work construction, whether they went to the gym, whether they were out in the cold more often, they walked more, all this stuff added up to the fact those were the biggest trends they found between those who gained very little weight and those who gained a ton was activity and muscle. So you need to focus on that. So I don't know why I threw my selfie again, but I'm going to show you how to maintain that and still have fun weekends. So the hierarchy of fat loss, something I stole from someone, I think, but it sums it up perfectly for me, is first and foremost is your nutrition. Eating less than you need to maintain your weight if you're looking for fat loss. Eating protein at a significant amount. Weight training is next. Managing sleep and stress. A lot of people kind of overlook this one, but when your stress is high, you hold on to stubborn fat more, you sleep worse, and it's just a cascade of problems that leads to more fat gain. The last piece, and the least important, is just that right amount of exercise, that cardio component to kind of fine-tune things. So here are some examples of guys that have gone through this. Right, we've got Steven. I think he just turned 50 actually, but after 9 weeks, you see that before and after. At the end, his waist went from 46 to a 32. Ridiculous. Neva lost over 5 inches. She was in a wedding party. She got a dress that was a smaller size than they recommended because she knew she was taking this program. And sure enough, we got her where she needed to go. Curtis, 45 pounds before his wedding. You guys know that one. Know him well. I pimp him out quite a bit. Corinne was a mother too. See, it works for everybody. That's what I'm getting at. A lot of people make excuses. Well, you know what? It's not the right timing. I'm busy. I have this X and X and X excuse. But really, regardless of all that, the plan is built for it. So this is the most recent one. You may have seen my post today. Ron has been with me just over 8 weeks, I think. Right on 8 weeks. And obviously you can see that his waist has shrunk significantly. And in fact, we've had him eating like 600-700 grams of carbs on Saturdays for the last little while, and he's still losing 1 to 2 pounds because the plan is built, structured with that in mind. So this was, we obviously track his numbers in the app. He started at 218. He's now under 198. And that was starting in mid-April, and now we're mid-June. There you go. Proof in the pudding. Hey, Paul Turner. He was on. Probably bailed on me. Slacker. He hasn't been around much lately. But when he was in the program, we had him eating his favorite cookies from Costco every night. And going back to that point before, calories, knowing your systems, having a program in place that helps you succeed. There you go. It looks like it could be on the cover of a magazine. Trent is in the program right now. He's stopped wearing weird hats, which is a good thing, but also lost 6 inches off his waist. Well, actually doing less work in some ways than he was doing before. A lot less cardio. We've got him on next to no cardio, other than what you get from training with weights. There you go. Angus just joined us. I actually forgot to put his testimonial in here, but he had a hell of a transformation as well. Jeff found his abs. I'm skipping these, unfortunately. Trigger fingered, but the very nice, great success, right? That is what we're all about here, is getting you the results you want that you haven't been able to get on your own, right? The most simple question I ask somebody who books a call with me is, if you followed a diet, a diet that was kind of balanced, didn't force you to give up favorite foods or weekends, and you only needed to go to the gym 4 days a week, could you not be successful with that? Hit the like button if you think you can be successful with that. Yes, exactly. I see a couple. I see a few more. Right? Makes sense. That's what this is about, the Summer Survival Challenge. I built out a program for the next 8 weeks that's going to allow you to have those weekends where you go to a wedding and you don't sweat the dessert, don't sweat the drinks, and you wake up Monday, Tuesday, and you are ahead of where you started the week, right? That is the sole purpose of this. So you can get in the pool and not look bloated. Okay. All right. So you've seen the program. I design workouts personally for you. It's all within an app on your phone. The meal plans are done for you. We track your results like we tracked with Ron there with his weight and his measurements, and support from me and the group. Like I said, tracking progress through the app, but also giving you room for drinks and fun weekends. That's the important point here, because it is almost July. It's this time. The other item, chance to win prizes. I just mailed out the winning package to the last guy who shall remain. I think he might be on this call, so I don't want to give it away. It was a close race based on points in the group. One guy is taking home this pack. I would say $100 worth of value here. My steaks and squats, shirts and mugs, and all sorts of good stuff. But for those who are new, I've thrown in some bonuses today. This is everyone that's in the Mastermation group now is going to get these, but also the 3 new people that I plan to take on. So it's a golden ticket. Golden ticket of gains tonight. So this is actually something you're going to want to implement right away. This is my 7-day rapid fat loss blueprint. So if you've got something fun planned for July long weekend, you're going to get this on Monday. Be just in time to walk you through the 7 days prior. Well, it actually includes 2 days on the weekend where you get to go hog wild and potentially lose as much as 7 pounds before your vacation. So if you're desperate, this is a good option to have. Other thing is my fat burning recipes, over 200. They're broken down by breakfast, dinner, red meat, seafood, and so on. So you never get bored eating the same things. Pretty simple. Another one is a 28 days later training program I just put together. This is a barn burner. You're pretty much destroyed at the end of 28 days. But you get that as an option that you can take with you, whether you stick with me for the long haul or not. It's something you can turn to down the road. And I'm pretty happy with this because I just went through it myself, and it's a barn burner. The other bonus is the day in the life PDF. So everything I do on a daily basis. So nothing's kind of left in the dark. What I take for supplements, when I train, what I do before workouts, what I do during workouts, etc. So a lot of you might be thinking the time isn't right? I use that word a lot. That's a fault of mine. Can't all be perfect. Angus is looking forward to a few martinis. Hopefully at the keg. You'll invite us over again, Angus. like we did. It was back in January. Good times. So a lot of you probably are thinking the time isn't right that aren't in the group already. Those guys could tell you otherwise. This is something that's optimized for a busy life. Never be a perfect time. I got 2 kids. I've got several businesses that I shouldn't be involved in. This is the most important one. But that's the thing is, you just got to start. And that's kind of forcing your hand by getting you to take action tonight. So if all this did was get you the body of your dreams, what would it be worth it? What is the cost of staying where you are? If you're getting great results on your own, by all means, you don't need this. X out, right? But if you're looking for that little extra, that stubborn fat that's been hanging around forever, like Ron had, it took him 8 weeks. He's lost largely the majority of it simply by taking action, investing in himself. So what's included? I keep adding slides on myself. I keep forgetting. So we do a live training workshop Wednesday in the group. The first one is going to be on the 9 steps to optimize your testosterone. I just had a test done. My numbers are through the roof from where they used to be. And it boils down to these 9 things. I would say 6 of them are the most important. That's going to be the first training for the guys in the group. You're going to feel so much better once you get that figured out. Obviously, the Summer Survival Transformation Diet. It's a PDF you get, plug and play, meal plans. It's all there for you, super simple. You get training programs. This is within my coaching app on your phones. You load that up. It's got the workouts right there with the video demonstrations, really simple. Every 4 weeks, we typically change that up just when you need it. And I like to pair people up for challenges. I call it a Thunder Buddy. It's someone you can reach out to when the going gets tough. Usually someone that's kind of on the same page as you, whether they're a family guy or not. We kind of pair you up with people that are like-minded so that you understand one another. And as I spoke about earlier, the challenges we do where we kind of make it a bit of a competition, right? We're all friends here, but having that little competitive edge can kind of push you to do a little more. And that's what those are all about. And that was the prize pack I sent out today to the winner of the last one. And then we've got my Schmedium t-shirt guarantee. By the end, you should fit snugly into a Schmedium t-shirt, look like you're jacked. That is the goal of that guarantee. Yeah, exactly, Angus. Angus said, how many guys in this group have had, how did I not do this sooner? I know Ryan made that comment because he kind of lurked around my stuff for months. Then he joined and he realized I could have had these results months ago if I had just started then. Then there's the 3 bonus gifts I mentioned, which in fact was actually 4. Right? PDF of a day in the life of me, the recipes, the 7-day rapid fat loss plan, which is going to take you into the July long weekend where you can lose as much as 7 pounds. I guarantee it. I've had guys lose 10 pounds on that. Not all fat, mind you, but you look a hell of a lot better, and it's only a week. It's true, says Ryan. So this could be you on the beach, even next weekend, that quickly, right? We work fast with the rapid fat loss plan. Obviously, I preach sustainability, and you may not want to wear a banana hammock like this. I don't really recommend it, but it's getting you to a point where you're comfortable putting this on if you had to. That is what Transformation is all about. So if you are ready to go, pretty simply, I'm going to throw this replay up. There are 2 guys that I think are, of the 4 openings, there's 2 guys in the group that I have to reach out to and give them an opportunity to rejoin first because their session just expired. So that potentially leaves 2, potentially up to 4, but all you have to do is book in a call with me. This isn't a sales call. I get on the line to see if you're an actual human being that would fit well with the Transformers. If you're not one of those, tech guys living in a basement writing code, probably not a great fit. But if you're a normal human, you should start going the steps now. I love it. Yes, Angus. So if you're a normal human, go to that website. Even go to mitchcover.com. You'll find the link to coaching. You book in a call on my calendar. We talk for 15 minutes. I may present the opportunity to join the group. At that point, we can talk about it, but we may not. We may just have a conversation, try to point you in the right direction. So that's it. There are a lot of guys in the group already that are going to kick ass. I'm going to actually send this to you all Monday, to the existing members, to the 2 new members, or potentially 4 new members. But that's it. If you got that message, if you got questions, PM me here on the Facebook, the Flakebook, and I'll try to get to you ASAP. But I'm kind of sleep deprived. I'm a toddler right now. So if I fail to get back to you shortly, make sure you book in on my calendar so that I know it pops up. I'll give you a call. Book it, folks. David says, yeah, David was one of the good ones. Lost 40 pounds himself. Then he referred Stephen. He never sent me a good photo, so I don't use his testimonial. But you may have seen him in Central Intelligence. There's a scene at the end with him in the gym, or sorry, yeah, it was a gym, at the reunion, where he gets some screen time. So make sure you check him out. I think he gets royalties for every viewing. That is it. Go to that website. If you have further questions, drop them below or private message me. I don't want to leave this up forever. But that is it. Good stuff, guys. Hope this was helpful. Even if you don't want to take the next step and book the call, you should be able to get a lot out of this to make sure your next transformation attempt does not fail. All right, hush. David, I'm going to call you out on that forever. We'll see you guys.